Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation. It is my distinct honor and privilege to welcome Coin Crew here with us. The Coin Crew channel, you probably have heard of them. A lot of live streams, auctions, and the like. But Coin Crew, Keith from Coin Crew, is also a bullion dealer. And he's been in the business for a while. We're going to learn a little bit about that business and about what he does. For the very first question, welcome, sir. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing okay. How are you doing tonight, Sal?
Doing well, doing well. Just as far as you being a bullion dealer or what you do, I guess, as far as selling coins, rounds, bars, and the like, we see behind you, there seems to be a fairly large chunk of silver that's in the shape of a bullet. Looks like a 100-ounce bullet right there behind you there. Pretty
Right
cool.
there.
So just tell us a little bit about yourself and about what got you into coins and becoming a dealer.
Oh, we got to go way back. I mean, we got to go back decades. I was about 8 years old. When we were kids, the stores used to have these great big bay windows. The pedestal was about knee high, and then the window went all the way up to the ceiling of the store. And they had some coins sitting in the window. I don't remember if it was a coin store or a pawn shop or what it was, but I went in the store because I seen a large set in the window. I go in there and I ask him about it, and he goes, "It's 50 cents. This is at or about the conversation. I don't remember everything, but I remember the highlights. He said, "It's 50 cents. I said, "Wow, that's pretty cool." I don't even remember the year. I don't have it. I wish I would have kept it. I bought it, and when I was buying it, he said, "You know it's only worth 25 cents, but you don't have it, and I do, and I want 50 cents. So when I bought it, I pulled all the money out of my pocket, and I had like 47 cents. And he sold it to me anyway. But the point was, when you get a beautiful coin and somebody new comes in the hobby, and it shouldn't be this way, but it is. But I was new to the hobby, and he liked the coin. I liked the coin, and his response was, "How many have you seen?" type of response. And that's pretty well got me hooked. I had it for 2 weeks. I do definitely remember it. I sold it in school for $2.
Wow.
And I told him it was only worth a quarter. And
That's amazing.
That's how it went. That's got me hooked. And you go on, fast forward a couple years. I mean, I'm not a real rich kid. I mean, I'm literally poor. But fast forward, and then when I was like 15, my older brothers took me to flea markets and stuff so I could start selling. But before that, I just bought. And I've been a dealer now for, I don't know, almost 40 years.
Age has treated you quite well, and the business has too. So how would you describe your shop, your organization? Would you consider yourself more of a coin dealer or a bullion dealer?
I'm a coin dealer at heart because I'm a numismatist. I collect coins. There's numismatics and then there's bullion. The numismatics part is the collecting of the coins, and that's what I really like the most. But again, with the way the market is in today's world, bullion dealers, numismatics cannot ignore the bullion because that is where the repetitive sales are. Because I can buy a numismatic coin, I can buy it and I can have it a day, a second, or I can have it for 20 years, which I have some of those left. Whereas with bullion, I can buy it and it's constantly flipping. There are a lot of people in the bullion, but I consider myself more of a collector dealer than a bullion dealer.
There is a form of your business that is this constant flow of bullion in and out. And that does make up that part of the market because of sort of the inconsistency of the numismatic side of the collecting side, right? That makes sense.
Yeah, when you're a collector dealer, if you don't deal with bullion, it's like any business. It's feast or famine. You may have days where you do really well, and you may have days where you just don't make enough to eat a couple of ramen noodles. Well, when you throw the bullion into that aspect, it gives you a consistency, just like a person going to a 9-to-5 job. They get that steady paycheck, and when you add bullion into the market, it gives you that steady paycheck. So it really does make it more consistent way of living for a coin dealer to be a bullion dealer as well.
Is there a certain percentage of how much business you do as a bullion dealer compared to the numismatic side?
I would say over 70% of my business is bullion related.
So
Yeah.
you really are a bullion dealer then. That's, I mean, essentially,
To say it, but yeah,
yeah.
it's sometimes I'm more like, am I a coin dealer anymore? But when I see that beautiful coin, you get that like MS67, anything, Morgan, Mercury, whatever, and you're like, wow, this is really beautiful. However, you got to sell it because you can't keep everything. I do try to keep a few of them. But with the bullion, it's like you have your stack that you're stacking yourself, and then you're willing to sell and replace as much as possible. But the coins are just beautiful.
The classic collector coins, the peace dollar, the Morgan dollar, the standing liberty, the seated liberty, all those different types of coins are amazing. Bullion coins have a great variety as well too. Modern numismatics, some of the Robin Hood, some of these relatively recent series, but they've not been produced. The
Marvels.
Zombux series, all of that stuff that comes through. The Queen's Beasts, pretty interesting stuff too there as well. But they're
Yeah.
bullion coins.
When you talk about the new bullion coins, being a is the way I am, a numismatic, I prefer the sovereign type coins where they have a dollar denomination on them. They have a limited vintage. And there are some really beautiful coins, like you said, the Robin Hood, the Maid Marian, the Philharmonic, the Marvel superheroes. Those are more my line because I am a collector. I like to get the stuff that is collectible, even if it's new.
Right.
Whereas you take a 1 ounce buffalo round, that does nothing for me. However, I do buy and sell them, but as far as me keeping them, I would prefer to keep a round like a Philharmonic or a Silver Krugerrand that's just a couple bucks more because it has some numismatic possibilities with that coin, even though it is still bullion. I mean, look at the Silver Eagles. When the Silver Eagles came out in 1986, strictly as a bullion coin, they came in a clear plastic tube with 2 orange caps. Guys were taking razor blades. They packed them in there so tight. I know guys that took razor blades back in 1986 to open them plastics because they couldn't get the coins out no other way. And that is I guess you could say, a bad trait of what happened to some of the 86 bullion Silver Eagles. They're now collectible. You go from anything pre-1998, people want those and they're paying a higher premium for them. They're a collectible that was once a bullion coin.
It is amazing to see how the market has changed. You being in this business for as long as you have, you've seen the evolution of the not only the coin industry, but also the bullion market as well.
That evolution has been crazy. If you would have asked me 18 years ago about the bullion market, you guys are going to think I'm crazy. 18 years ago, I was offered 1,000 ounces of silver. And this is the truth. You hear it right here on Sal's channel. I was offered 1,000 ounces of silver. Silver was sitting about $4.25. He said, give me $3,500. That's $3.50 an ounce. And I said, I don't want them. You can't sell bullion. And at the time, it was hard to push silver bullion out for spot.
Wow.
75 cents back a spot I was offered. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll take 100 of them, but I'm not taking the whole 1,000 at that. So I took 100 of them. Smacked myself in the head. I should have bought them all. But who knew? Nobody knows, as you say, over the years how things evolve. Who knew that the bullion market was going to become such a strong and powerful force? Back when you're talking 18 years ago, nobody wanted bullion. Guys were just eating up some guys. There were a lot of guys that were still strong bullion guys, and they just kept eating it up as much as they can afford. And I applaud them for that because they did great.
It was difficult to buy it online as well.
Online was non-existent 18 years ago.
It's amazing to see how that evolution has occurred. And now here we are in 2021, and bullion is competing with cryptocurrencies, digital assets, easy trading using the Robinhood app, and still it's doing very well.
I think what a lot of people don't understand about bullion, and I don't know if I'm getting off topic here or not, but bullion is not a way to make money. It is a wealth insurance. It's like going out and buying your house insurance, your car insurance.
Yep.
If your house burns down or you get in a wreck, it's covered. Well, what if you lose your job? What kind of insurance is there? It's called wealth insurance. It's your silver, it's your gold. Because whatever you put into that now is going to buy you the same amount of products in 20 years. Unlike keeping it in a fiat dollar where your money is only going to get you maybe 10% or 20% of what you could buy today with fiat.
Inflation adjusted dollars now are quite pitiful compared to what they were a year ago. In fact, at the velocity of inflation is now 1% every 30 days. 6.2% inflation is the last measure. And so when you do think about it, that's an analogy I use a lot on my channel, is it is like insurance. And the premiums you pay, there's premiums you pay for insurance as well. That money you won't get back. The money you pay for your insurance premiums, you do not get back. The premiums you pay for silver and gold,
you can get back.
You can get back nowadays, at least partially recover them. Nonetheless, normally you wouldn't in a normal bullion market. Of course, we're not in a normal bullion market today, but you float it with the price that fluctuates, the spot price, and sooner or later you're going to do very well in wealth preservation, and that's the best thing we can hope for. So that's an excellent analogy.
One of the things that people, they're like, oh, it's like today. I mean, today's not been a great day for silver or gold. You know that. One of the things people worry about, oh, it went down. They get scared and they sell. If you own stocks, are you going to sell them because it has a bad day? No, you're not, because you're in it for the long haul.
That's
you
right.
should treat your silver and gold just like you would your money-making opportunities. If you like fiat, I know not many people like fiat anymore, but you should treat it just like your stocks or your crypto, and you should be in it for the long haul. Don't be scared because it has a bad day. We all have a bad day. We wake up on the wrong side of the bed and nothing's going right, but the next day, it's totally different. And that's how
there's something called FOMO, fear of missing out. Well, you can probably turn that around, a fear of staying in. In other words, people probably feel the rush to sell because they're afraid it's going to dive even more, which really that doesn't happen with gold and silver. They can fall, but there's a very solid foundation for gold and silver, as opposed to any kind of stock that's out there that's not backed by anything but the company or enterprise or the energy it takes to produce said stock or cryptocurrency. Whereas gold and silver, they have intrinsic value that really cannot be destroyed. And even like what we saw last March, when the silver price literally went below $12 an ounce, $12 an ounce in the paper markets, good luck finding any silver for less than $20 an ounce in the physical markets.
There were people out there that did get scared and did sell it at that low cost. I got thousands of ounces when that happened. I was able to find it for about $15.
But I mean, and that's you as a bullion dealer from your sources or from people selling it off the street. But if I wanted to, as a consumer, if I wanted to buy silver, because I made a purchase of silver around March of 2020, a tube of Silver Eagles, and I got them for about $20 a pop, and that was considered a pretty good deal back then.
Well, yeah, Silver Eagles were, and when I was saying I got for 15, it was just generic rounds. It wasn't
right.
Silverine type silver. Yeah, I think a lot of people get that fear of staying in, as you said earlier. You know, you go back, and I've said it plenty of times before, the silver quarter ordeal, where you got a 65 quarter and a 64 quarter. You bought a gallon of gas today. You can still get over a gallon of gas with that 64 quarter, and you'll be lucky to get to the corner with that 65 quarter. Right. That is the difference between wealth insurance with your silver, with your gold, and fiat currency. Fiat sucks.
Or it's designed to drop in value, which will eventually lead to failure or a reset, because if it's designed to drop 2% each year, they're targeted by the Fed, sooner or later that 2% is going to run out. Where it's going to be inflated to the point where what you could buy today for $20, you'd need $60, $80 for, and then it just goes up from there. So, but gold and silver are long lasting, and the market has changed a lot since you started. Back 18 years ago, you were buying silver as a dealer for 75 cents under spot, and you should have bought it all then.
I should
But
have.
so what was it like 10 years ago? What was it like 5 years ago for you?
Well, if you remember right, there was the Great Recession back in '08. Before I get into that, I do want to touch back on the fiat currency. Fiat currencies are designed to fail after 40 to 50 years. As you said, there is a reset, and people should be aware of that. We are approaching the 50-year mark that we've come off the gold standard, and that is
We
something
passed it. Yeah,
yeah,
we've already passed
we
it,
just
right?
recently passed it. But people should know that we are past the failure point for most fiat currencies. Okay, to get back onto the subject, back in 2008, there was the Great Recession, which everything, right before the Great Recession, there was, I guess you could say, a bubble. Silver went up, gold went up, the stocks went up, everything went up. And then back in '08, the Lehman Brothers and a few other big companies failed and just sent the whole world economy into this I think it was more of a depression, but it's labeled as the Great Recession. And then after that, it took a little bit, but the silver and gold came back quicker than the stocks. Well, then the silver and gold leveled off and the stocks and everything kept going. Well, we could be entering into that phase again with the stock market, but where that's going to put silver and gold, I wouldn't take a chance of not having it. I think over time, it has slowly went up. It went up to 20 before the recession, fell down to 6. You couldn't touch it less than $11 an ounce. That was wholesale when it was $6 on the market. And then it went all the way up to $50, and then it fought back and forth, and fell down to 13 and some change at one point, and then it fell down again just last year down to 11. But over the course of this 14 years or 13 years, whatever, from '08 to now, silver has had its ups, it has had its downs, but the strength of silver has kept going up. More and more people are getting into silver. They're starting to understand that it is a wealth insurance. There is nothing in the world you can buy. You can say, oh, I can get my money back on tools, I can get my money back on other things, but there is nothing in the world that you can buy and you can go into just about anywhere and get a consistently fair price other than silver or gold. You can't get a consistently fair price on a tool. A tool may be worth $100. One guy might give you 25, one guy might give you 50. If you get 75, that's because that guy's already got it sold. Well, you take $100 piece of silver, one guy might cheat you and give you 80. You notice I said cheat you and give you 80, and that's
Right.
already higher than the highest price you're going to get on a tool.
Right.
But most generally, you're going to get 90, 95, sometimes 99% of the current value.
And that's just it. Consistency is
That's
key. That's the
consistent.
key word. And because as we record this video, there are auto
Well,
dealerships offering above new value for used cars.
I know.
So
Figure.
that are 7, 8 years old. They're buying it back for higher than the price they sold for. This is an anomaly because of the supply chain issue, because of the chip shortage and the like. But this is not a consistent thing. So what you said is very important, that silver and gold are consistently sold at near spot price, whether it be a percentage under or what have you, in a normal market. Now, this is not a
No.
normal market. People are paying more for Eagles. People are paying, in fact, some dealers are paying, 75 or $1 over spot for generics. So, I mean, some are. I don't know if you are, but some of them are.
Silver Eagles, I'm paying about $6.50 over if it's a nice BU. A generic round is anywhere from $1 to $2 over. Because like you said, this is not a normal market.
Right.
This is an anomaly. Everything is short. And it all started with supply chain issues. It started with people, when we had the virus go around, it started with people not working and the government giving free handouts. Now, granted, there are some people that really needed that, but there are other people that took advantage of that and kept going with it when they could have simply went back to work. Even today, it's an anomaly. You can go into a McDonald's, apply for a job and get it, making $12 to $15 an hour. Just
Right.
about any place is paying that now.
Yep, that's right.
Minimum wage is
Exactly.
not near that across the country.
Where do you see things normalizing with the bullion market the way it is? A lot of it is probably going to depend on the supply chain issues generally overall. You know, we have a lot of vessels still off the shore of California. There's
Yeah.
probably a lot of silver on those cargo ships. Where do you see things normalizing there? Is a lot of it just depend? How much is dependent upon some of those other factors, do you think?
Normalization is not really something, nobody can predict the future. But I do understand that it's going to take a lot of things into play to get things, as you call it, normal. And one of those things of normalization is getting a proper supply chain going for something as simple as toothpaste or toilet paper. Until people start going back to work and want to work, there are still, I know a lot of people, oh, I'm not going to work for $10 an hour. I'm not going to work for $20 an hour. They just don't want to work. They'd rather sit around. Now, don't get me wrong. Not everybody is like this, but there are enough people like that where they don't want to go to work. And that is what is causing the supply chain disruptions. Not enough manpower. Why do you think these fast food restaurants are paying $12+ an hour? Most of those jobs are for the school kids, but yet people that are adults don't have proper training for one reason or another. They are going and grabbing those jobs and living off them, and they're doing the best they can. Not everybody is a victim of circumstance. Some people may have got laid off and that was the only job they can get, and I feel for those people. But at least they're going back to work, even if it is a simple job.
Right.
I know people who had six-figure jobs that are going to places that pay $12, $13, $14 an hour. And my opinion about that is props to them. They're going back to work. They're help. Every person's job in this world is important, no matter what you do. And if you don't do a job, that affects somebody else's job, And before you know it, we have what we have right now, a supply chain disruption. All the supply chain disruption started with, I guess you could say, the money, the change last year. That was really huge. And it just went on from there.
And so all of that stuff is interconnected, and obviously the supply chain is what is needed to get bullion moving. And when there's a shortage of product coming in, those prices go up. The demand for them goes up as people are scared and they're buying more, and they're paying the extra premiums for products, and that just builds upon each other because you buy from wholesalers, and that you have to be on a waiting list to get from, and they're charging more because it's tough for them to get the product, and so that moves along to you, the bullion dealer, to where your margins may be the same or maybe even less than what you were charging before, you know.
Yeah, that supply chain even goes into something as simple as when someone comes in my shop right here and they want to sell me something. When I pay them, I'm not just paying them. I'm paying whoever they got to pay. That is a trickle-down effect.
Yeah.
They're using the money to pay a bill. They're using the money for this. So if they didn't get that money from me, who knows how or if they would even get it to pay the bill that they owe. So if they don't get the money to pay that bill, that means somebody else didn't get a bill paid. That means somebody else is out of a job because someone else don't want to work. It's just like dominoes, man.
Right. Yep. And so therefore, let's go back 18 years ago where you bought 100 of that which you wish you would have bought 1,000 of these silver rounds for 75 cents under spot. Nowadays, you're paying probably, I don't know, 50 cents over spot. I don't know. You're paying over spot for generics probably now.
Wholesale is a couple bucks over.
Yeah.
Couple bucks over. I try to buy off the public slightly less than what the wholesale is. The wholesale, I think, is somewhere in the $2 to $3 range.
Right.
For new rounds.
Yeah, that just goes to show you how dynamic this has become. In a sense, when you think about that for the physical market, even though spot price is the foundation, we need to pay attention to it. It is the foundation for which everything is priced in the bullion market. There is this separation because if you're paying a couple of dollars over, there's these premiums that stack upon each other, just as you kind of illustrated. And so therefore, when people buy silver and gold, they have to think about that. As we record this video, we're approaching Black Friday. These Black Friday deals, I saw one SD Bullion selling silver at spot deal. I thought there's no way there's going to be silver at spot deals out there. Well, there was, but it was for one round. And in order to really take advantage of that, you had to buy $199 in order to get the free shipping, because you obviously, if you're going to buy one silver round, you're going to be paying probably $7-8 to ship it. And it's kind of, and then tax on top of that, you're basically.
That goes back to the old saying, is it free or is it a deal if you have to buy something else?
Right. I mean,
yep. They're going to make their extra money back on something else or shipping if you don't. A lot of places will charge $10 to $20 for shipping.
Right.
You spend less than $100 or $200.
Right. And again, that's not anything bad about SD Bullion. It's just that's the world we live in today. For the longest time, some of these dealers would have at spot deals with free shipping. It was a one-time offer. You get 10 ounces and at spot, and boom, they just ship it out the door. That's gone now.
Yeah.
And that'll probably never come back, given where things are. And then you take into account inflation on top of that, inflation, which affects everything, fuel costs and all that, to where the premiums or the percentage above spot or the dollars above spot is probably something that's going to be around for a while. Like right now, the U.S. Mint is charging APs, authorized purchasers, $2.35 last time I checked. It used to be $1.50. It used to be $2. Now it's $2.35. Could it be $2.50 next year? Probably so. The rate inflation is going. That's what they're going out the door from the mint as. And then you've got the APs that have to make money on it, who sell to distributors and wholesalers, and then they sell to you or other bullion dealers.
Now, just to be clear for the viewers, when you're saying AP, you mean authorized purchasers, right?
Right, that's correct.
Okay, because not everybody would understand that term. That's why I wanted to clear that.
Yeah, authorized purchasers, right.
Because with the U.S. Mint, I don't remember if it's 9, 11, or however many, they only allow so many people to buy the bullion-related products in mass value.
That's right. I think there's about 18 of those. Last time I checked, about 18.
It keeps changing. All I know is you got to have such a large amount of money in escrow. It's just not worth it. If I had that $25 million, I'd probably retire.
Exactly. That's right. I think that pretty much gives us a good handle on kind of where things are, especially the evolution of buying silver from your perspective as a bullion dealer and how that's changed over the years. It's pretty amazing, remarkable.
As I said earlier, the silver market and the gold market, the strength of it keeps getting stronger, and with it getting stronger, it's going to pick up in price. With inflation, it's going to pick up in price, and with the cost of mining, as we run out of silver and gold in the earth, that also will affect the price. You asked me earlier, how has the market been over the past 10, 15 years? The demand is slowly increasing, and it is going to go at a faster pace as time goes on. So if you guys aren't buying wealth insurance, aren't buying silver and gold, from my perspective, I think you should.
And I definitely encourage people to do that as well. Obviously, to not put all of their eggs in one basket, to do your own research and figure out and find out what's right for you. But I think it's a good idea to have some, and I think it's a good idea to have some in physical form, and with the understanding exactly what you are buying and understanding what those premiums are about. We've described some of that on this video, on this interview. That really helps people to have a better understanding and maybe even feel better about paying those premiums, because just like insurance premiums, you're not going to get that money back. Although today, in this abnormal market, you would get some of it back. But spot price fluctuates. In the long run, if you take a look at a chart over 100 years, silver has proven itself, and gold especially has proven itself because it's not as volatile.
Now, the thing I want to add also is that you said these premiums. Now, you could call them premiums or you could call them whatever you want to call them. But when you're looking on the market and you're seeing the price for silver or the price for gold, that is a paper contract price. These are two totally different markets. When you go buy a contract, which is 5,000 ounces of silver, the COMEX, that's their size, 5,000 ounces. So when you buy that 5,000 ounces and you say, I want to take delivery, there's a small little fine print down there that says they don't have to deliver physical. They can just pay you back. So that's something you want to remember. That's the difference between you buying that contract, which is a paper product, and there's 100, maybe 200 times more paper out there than is actually physically possible.
That's
or
right.
you owning that physical. So
Yep.
that you could call it premiums, or you can just call it two different markets. Physical is something totally different than what you see on your computer.
Yeah, that's right. And I kind of alluded to that because there's almost like there are two different markets. There's a physical market and the paper market. However, the tie-in is that the physical market is derived from the paper market. In other words,
Right.
it's these premiums, and that's what people see. The customer's perspective is they pay one premium. They see it as one premium, whereas you, as a dealer, you see it in multiple facets of premiums that are charged from the original supplier, the refinery, and then the mint, and then the broker, and then the authorized purchaser, or what have you, and then wherever you're sourcing your silver and gold from. There's multiple layers of premiums that most customers probably don't really fully grasp, and that's something that I think people need to understand. And so, but it's all kind of interrelated here as far as that is concerned. But it's worth it. It's worth it because just like when you have an insurance policy for your home, for fire, for auto, for homeowners insurance, you pay those premiums. Well, those premiums are probably divvied out in multiple different aspects to keep the pot going for if you ever need to make a claim, and also to pay the people who are in the insurance company. Same type of deal here.
I think what people are seeing is, okay, I take this to my dealer and he's going to pay me this much and he's making how much? It's not that he's making that much because he's buying it on your convenience of selling. He may not even need the product. You take him in, just like 18 years ago when I was talking about that 1,000 ounces, I didn't need 1,000 ounces. He could have sold it to me half of that. I probably would have still been skittish, but then again, I might have bought it at half of that. But my point is, you're selling it at your convenience, and he may not need it. When he orders it from a distributor, he is ordering it because he needs it. So he has to always price the product he sells at or above what it would cost him to order it from a distributor, irregardless of buying it $1 cheaper an ounce. And
Right.
that's something a lot of people don't understand is he pays you according to his need. If he by chance needs it when you bring it in, he's going to give you what the distributor needs only because he don't have to click a mouse and wait, 2, 3 weeks to get it.
And then the thing is you're left holding a bag of spot falls a dollar
Yes.
or
A
something
lot of
like
people,
that, and you've got it.
a lot of people don't realize that all the risk is on the person who gave up the money. Just like when you buy something, there's a slight risk to you. But if you're in a long haul, that's not hardly any risk at all. But for the dealer on the short haul that is buying and selling constantly, if spot drops $1, he's got to sell that $1 cheaper immediately. He
Right.
doesn't have no leeway.
That's right.
If he
Yep.
wants to keep the customer base happy, he has to move with spot.
Yeah, can you tell us the name of your shop and where it is, your brick and mortar? Because you have a brick and mortar shop, correct?
Yeah, this is my little office cubbyhole where I do my YouTube stuff. This is, I guess you could say, a mini studio. Name of the business is Coin Zone. It's located in the beautiful city of Muskegon. It's in West Michigan. We're open from Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 4, excluding holidays, and Saturday, 10 to 2. Again, excluding holidays. So if you guys are coming to me like Thanksgiving weekend, we closed. If you're coming to me in between Christmas and New Year's, that's my vacation holiday. So
Right.
yeah, normal holidays, always call. You can look us up on the Google, our numbers there, our hours are there.
Well, that's wonderful. And you have a YouTube channel called Coin Crew,
Yes, Coin
and
Crew.
And so definitely check that out. I'm going to actually post a link to his channel in the description below this video. So check it out if you want to get in touch with Keith from Coin Crew and his lovely wife. And they have their live streams and do auctions and the like as well. And just a great member of the community, in touch with the community here on YouTube. And so wanted to have you on. And so I really appreciate this. This has been wonderful. And hopefully we'll have you back. This has been an enlightening discussion. And I hopefully folks will have a better understanding from the bullion dealer perspective, especially somebody who is a bullion dealer who also is a coin collector and does sell coins as well, but also is a member of the community on YouTube.
Did that
There
change?
it is. That changed.
There it is. Coin
There's
Crew.
his logo. There it is. Nice. So there you see it. Yeah, that's right. And maybe you'll duck down. We can see the whole image real quick.
Oh, here, let's just get all the way out of the way. You look for that avatar, guys.
There you go. Yes, that's it.
There you go.
All right.
It
Well,
worked.
very good. Thank you, sir. This has been a wonderful interview. I really appreciate your time. And I think people have learned something from this. So I want to extend a multitude of gratitude to you, sir, for taking the time to join me here. And a multitude of gratitude to you all as viewers for watching. And I want to encourage you to please rate, share, and subscribe to Coin Crew.